What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers on the Bottom. I'm your host, J Mill. J Mill, if you like. So let's get into it. So today we're gonna grade the defenses, I guess, line and front seven because we have some injuries. So a lot of players are incomplete. So let me give you my incompletes. My incompletes are like Marshawn Nealon, incomplete. Micah Parsons, incomplete. Demarcus Lawrence, incomplete. Sam Williams, incomplete. So you're looking more at a person like Mozzie Smith, um, Adigizua, Golston, and Lawson slash KJ McHenry. But even those two guys, I would give incomplete because KJ McHenry just got here. Carl Lawson just made his debut on the active roster a few weeks ago, and even when he made his debut a few weeks ago, he didn't get many snaps on defense. So the Cowboys did run out of activations and have to sign him to the active roster. But it's not because like the dude got some amazing amount of snaps. Last 3 games he was up. That's not how it worked for him. So he gets an incomplete until we see some legit defensive snaps. Um, so let's start with Deshaun Golston. Golston, I actually give Golston like a B, maybe even a B plus. He's been a really good player for you, especially in the running game, some of the passing game. When you look at that last game against the Lions, Golston's one of the few players that flashed off the screen pretty consistently for you. You kind of wish you had some other players there to do certain things consistently because maybe you could have got blown out by 30 points instead of 38 points. Still would have got blown out apparently. But Golston, he gets a solid B from me. So then on the other side, the person we would go with that's the current starter, I don't know. I think it's incomplete on him because I think it's McHenry and Carl Lawson. Nealon got hurt that last game, so you can't really continue to grade him. We kind of have to think about the players that we have going forward. So now we'll get to the middle a little bit. So Mozzie Smith, I give him a C. I do think he's showed more consistency or in better play in the last quarter of the Ravens game and the entire Giants game and the entire Steelers game, and then against the Detroit Lions, you got to burn that tape. Not burn it as in the players shouldn't learn from it, but as far as if you want me to give out grades based on that tape, dude, it just shouldn't even happen because everybody was bad. There was so much bad. There was way more bad than there was good. I can go out and I can pick out, listen, I can pick out about 30 good plays between the Cowboys' offense and defense in that game. But when you consider the two teams together ran about 125, 130 plays between the offense and defense, and that's not counting special teams, picking out what I can pick out, that's a very small percentage, obviously. So, even though, there's some positive things I can actually take out of that tape, there's not enough positive things to even dwell on it. So everybody was bad. That's why I don't want to necessarily grade Mozzie based off of that game. But yeah, I give him a C. He's a first round pick. He's coming along. He actually is better this year than he was last year. I think he's been a little bit better than people give him credit for. But when you talk about the problems of the Cowboys, it's really easy to pin that on Mozzie Smith. So there's that. But how about the homie next to him, Osi Odigizua? Odigizua has been a good player for the Cowboys for a number of years, but he's never been a great player. He's been like your above average 3 technique, but not quite so far above average that you want to commit to him. So he needs to do something a little bit here because I do think he's replaceable and I think he will be replaced in this next draft. He might have already been replaced on the roster, but hey, That's neither here nor there. But Odigizua, I give him a C. He needs to be a better player for the Cowboys in the second half. So along that front seven, now we have DeMarvion Overshown, Damone Clark, Maris Leofau, Eric Kendricks. I'm not going to grade anybody else here because I feel like Nick Vigil has been such a spotty player that those four guys are the guys. So going across the board, Maris Leofau gets maybe like a C plus. Damone Clark gets probably a B based on how little he's playing, but how much he's shown. DeMarvion Overshown gets a solid B plus to me, and Eric Kendricks gets a B. I actually think the linebackers have been pretty okay this season, save injury, right? You know, Kendricks has been out for this past game. You know, he was one of your better tacklers, and he knows Mike Zimmer's system, so the whole diagnose, get people lined up, get them in the correct places thing is always something big for the Dallas Cowboys. But all in all, like I said, give him a B, maybe a B plus. Overshown, man, missing the entire year last year, having that injury and coming back, and even in the losses, he's still a thumper. Like when he's out of position, right, it can be bad, just like any player. But for some reason, he still always ends up somewhere in the tackle or somewhere around the tackle. Like, I'm telling you, the Cowboys have another Sean Lee here. They have, like, one of those, you know how Fred Warner is for the 49ers? Like, and y'all gonna smack me for this. Y'all gonna get on me, you know, because we're in this season right now, so the Cowboys' young players are developing, and some of the things I'm saying might not necessarily come to fruition now, but as the years go along in their career, just watch me, just listen to me. Got that? I'm stirring. I'm cooking for you guys. Yo, DeMarvion Overshown, he's gonna be a great player for the Dallas Cowboys at the position he's at. He's a linebacker. I mean, you know, Devin White and Levante David for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've been a really good linebacker combo. Fred Warner has been a really good linebacker here in the last few years. You know, Patrick Queen has been a really good linebacker here, even though he has his weaknesses. You know, Alex Highsmith for the Pittsburgh Steelers has been a pretty consistent guy. But you know, Bobby Wagner, he's probably like one of the close to Hall of Famers still left in the league right now, still playing. I'm telling you, Overshown's going to be one of those types of players. I really do believe that, because even when, like I said, even when the Cowboys are getting beat, even when we're down, even when we're losing, just keep an eye on 13. If he's not in on the play, he's around the play all the time. And that's one of those things you got to ask for from your linebackers. I think I gave Kendricks and Leofau their grade. Damone Clark, I would give him close to an incomplete. If I couldn't do incomplete, I guess I'd be a C plus, because he hasn't gotten to play as much as the other three linebackers, but I do feel he is also played well this season, but I'm not willing to put him on the field full time. As long as Micah Parsons is out, I'm willing to play him. Some of his best plays going against the Pittsburgh Steelers were some of the things that we talked about a few weeks ago, which is Damone Clark going forward, Damone Clark attacking the pocket. And you know, you need to see that against the Steelers, you need to see that against the Lions, but the Cowboys used him sparingly. They didn't unleash his speed. They didn't unleash his play forward ability. I really do think some of the times our coaches kind of outthink themselves, but I mentioned that before, so I'm not going to go into that again. But that's my grade for the front seven. Tomorrow I'll give you guys the grade for the skill positions on defense, which is your corners and your safeties, and I'll grade the defensive coordinator as well, and then we'll come together as a whole to grade the Cowboys season to this point. And then as we get into the week, Wednesday we'll move on. We'll talk about the San Francisco 49ers offense against the Cowboys defense. Thursday we'll talk about the San Francisco 49ers defense against the Cowboys offense. Friday, we'll get into bold predictions, regular predictions, and what I think the score will be. And, we'll go from there. But thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at JMillerIYL. That's JMiller if you like. You can also hit me up on email, knockersonthebottom at outlook.com. Again, knockersonthebottom at outlook.com. You can also hit me up at knockersonthebottom at gmail.com. You can hit me up in the comments below. Send me questions. Tell me anything you want me to cover. I'll take them, there. I'll take them on Twitter. I'll take them via email. Put them together in a mailbag format. Make it a regular segment. But I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button so that you know when I'm coming out. We're at 21 subscribers. My next goal is 30. So anything you guys could do to help, that'd be awesome. Like, subscribe. But thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys so much. Until next time, I'm your host, J Mill. J Miller if you like. This has been Knockers on the Bottom. Peace.